Welcome back to the Rich Eisen Show. Duff McKagan in studio. How to Be a Man and Other Illusions is the book. You should go get it, Amazon.com and in bookstores, wherever you find books. Here he is on the Rich Eisen Show, at Duff McKagan, also on Twitter. Are you up for doing more shows, maybe with Guns N' Roses? What are you up for doing here, moving forward in your musical career?
Right. Well, I love playing rock and roll music.
Sure.
And I just recorded some songs for this book, actually sort of a companion musical piece with Izzy, who was the original member of Guns.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that was, you know, last spring I went and played some shows with Axl, and that thing is in our bones. You know, that thing that we formed, it's now, somebody said the other day, I was at the gym, and somebody said, some band from '95 came on the classic rock radio. And somebody said that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And it just dawned on me that the mid-'90s was 20 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is completely bizarre to me. And so now we're talking about nearly 30 years ago.
Yeah.
It's hard to even say for me.
Do you ever think one day our kids will be rolling around listening to an old, quote-unquote, oldies station, and Guns N' Roses will be considered that, you know?
I guess, right? Like our oldies were Patsy Cline and... Right?
Yeah.
So I can't even compute all that stuff. I have teenage kids, and everything is so now.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have time to really look back, but I do know that the music from Guns it's in my bones.
Is Axl a football guy? Does he know?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, he is. He had some good texts for me when actually he was cool about when the Seahawks, when we lost this Super
How was he
Bowl.
cool?
It was air silent. It was text silent.
He backed off.
Gave him my time.
Okay. How much time did you need to get over the Super Bowl this year?
Well, what day is it today? It's not, you know, and there's a joke. Even though I back like in that 3 seconds that you have to rectify everything when your head's buried in the floor when that pass was intercepted, I realized that's the way that the Seahawks play, and I had to really come to that conclusion really fast, or I don't know what I would have done. And that's the way they play. And they did make that pass a bunch during the season and past few seasons. But there's a joke that finally I heard like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And my brother called me with the joke. He's a Seahawks fan. And the joke is this: why do you wear a Seahawks jersey to an exam?
Why is that?
Because you'll pass even though you know you shouldn't. So there's the joke. It still hurts. Like that joke hurts. It's a good joke.
Yeah, you didn't really lay into the punchline. You didn't believe in the joke.
No, it's kind of just a conversation.
Yeah, you didn't own the joke.
I mean, there's probably a lot of New England Patriots jokes that'll be coming out now as of today.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Patriot fans are defiant, to say the least, right now. Do you want to ask the poll question? Let's get to that right now.
But I agree with you. You should place the balls in capable hands.
Yes, to make sure that they're protected and appreciated.
Right, exactly.
I live my life by that code, guys.
And what?
I live my life by that code.
Yeah,
right.
You're talking about...
And why wouldn't the NFL live their life by that code?
Of course.
Yes, exactly. We're talking about footballs, right?
Cradle the balls in the same place every game, every standardized.
In all walks of life.
Save time and money by downloading TrueCar's mobile app. Configure the new car you want, then see what others paid for it and lock in guaranteed savings from TrueCar certified dealers in your area. Most users save over $3 grand less than MSRP. Save time, save money, and never overpay. Download the TrueCar app today. Ask Duff McKagan, Chris Brockman, about the poll question at RichEisenShow.com.
What should Tom Brady's punishment be as a result of the Wells report findings? A fine, suspension, or nothing?
What do you think?
What do you think, Duff?
Whatever the standard, I don't know what the standardized thing was. It a fine?
Yeah, it is.
I guess you go with that. I mean, to me, it's like nothing. Who cares? But you got to do something. A fine's not going to mean anything.
Yeah, suspension holding strong, 55%. Nothing, 28%.
I mean, I think that's what we probably want. Like,
well, we at the Rich Eisen Show,
Duff,
go ahead. We spitballed around other ideas for potential suspensions or punishments for Tom Brady.
Go ahead.
Would you like to run through?
I would love that.
Okay, you tell me which one you like the best. And for the radio audience, I'll read off what's on the TV screen. Potential non-suspension punishments for Tom Brady. First one is 6 weeks being dressed by Gronk's stylist.
There's one.
Next one, 30 plays forced to use Aaron Dobson as first read.
Ouch.
Okay.
That's a punishment.
That's bad.
Next one is driving Jimmy Garoppolo's '06 Camry for 3 full days.
That'd be... Yeah.
That's a rough one. Here's a sober karaoke with Belichick, and 50% of it is hip hop.
Sober karaoke.
See, that's kind of more, you have to choose one of those. Like, you got to go to the
Well, they were also
receiver.
ignored by Giselle for 1 full hour.
Oh.
Could you imagine the pain, the suffering?
Earlier, you picked up Duff's book and you went to page 202.
Yes.
What has more pages in it, the Ted Wells investigation or Duff's new book?
Oh, well, Ted Wells was 243.
243, right?
And page 243 is the second page of chapter 26, Let Go of Resentments, Volume 2, is the name of that chapter.
I have more pages than that report.
Did it take you 104 days to write it? Because it took them 104 days to write the
Yeah,
Wells
how long did it
report.
take you to write this book?
It takes a while to write a book.
Okay.
My first book, it took me 14 months. This thing was, it probably took a good 104 days.
There you go.
Solid 105, because I have more pages, probably.
If you scratch the surface long enough, Ted Wells and Duff McKagan are really the same person. Never seen you and Ted Wells in the same room, for instance, right? You might be the same person.
I have no comment on that.
It's more probable than not that I'm wrong. You want to ask one more
Yeah,
question before
when
Duff
it was all
heads out?
at the peak, Appetite's Out, Use Your Illusion, you guys are just killing it and touring. You're at Wembley selling out 100,000. What's the one song that you enjoyed playing the most?
Yeah, I
at a
get asked
concert?
that question. It varied every night. You know, in South America, it was kind of a rhythmic thing, so it was always Brownstone. The crowd would just bounce. And, when we had a good night, every song was great.
Yeah. Awesome.
I like it.
Yeah.
And before you go,
Yeah.
I mean, I do have to ask you this question as well. Speaking as a New Yorker who grew up loving the Jets, and I've seen them in the Super Bowl in my life, never. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, technically, I was born in June of '69, and they were in the Super Bowl. I was an embryo, I believe, the last time they were actually in the Super Bowl. At what point can you, as a Seattle fan, stop saying that people don't expect you to win? Because you're winning a lot now.
We're done now.
Okay, you
Done
can't
saying that.
because at some point you got a Red Sox fan over there. At some point, he had to stop saying, "Oh, woe is me," you know, the curse of the Bambino, and he's got rings, plural. At what point can you, as a Seattle fan, stop the 12s who feel put upon by the national media and national fans? You do realize that's going to run out of gas.
He's like
at some
burning a
point.
hole in
What are you doing right now? I get, and I love the Red Sox fandom and all that, but you're comparing Seahawks. You can't do that.
Okay.
That's apples and oranges. Red Sox fans will do that forever.
Well, I guess that is true. You
Yeah.
still wear the curse of the Bambino, but at some point, I mean, Pete Carroll and the
we're good.
Seahawks are beating everybody up.
We're good. We expect to win now. I expect my team to win. 3 years ago, I would have been, oh, God, they're going to lose
Yeah.
somehow this weekend.
Right.
But now I expect them to win.
So, of all places, too, to maybe win another one to go in the Niners' house. That's what the Super Bowl is this year.
I don't say those words before season.
Okay.
They're 2 words I don't say.
Okay.
We got to play the game.
Okay.
And we got to figure out what we're going to do with our draft choice.
Yeah, I know.
That's
What'd you think of that?
Schneider's just such a smarter guy than what it seems that the Seattle Times is reporting. So I don't know what's going on there.
So in
do you
Schneider,
think
you
of it?
trust is what you think. I was surprised because I'm a Michigan guy. I was surprised that they chose him. I actually looked at my notes to see if there was another Frank Clark available in the draft, and that is not being facetious. I'm not. Yeah, really. I was very surprised that they went ahead and chose him with that history that he has. I just hope it doesn't, blow up in anybody's faces.
That brain trust is pretty smart.
Right.
And so there's either something or they just messed up.
Thanks for coming in here today. I really appreciate
Cool,
it.
thanks
Please
for-
come back when you're traveling up and down the coast. You have a home here all the time. Maybe I'll hook you and Jerry together.
That'd be good.
When the football season comes too, because I know you guys are in the same fantasy league too.
We are.
So
we are. Yeah.
I know. Who won that fantasy league?
I
last year?
never win.
Really?
And I got it down, but I just never win. Who won last year? Probably Jerry.
Jerry Cantrell won your fantasy?
Probably.
What's your team name? Your fantasy team name?
Team McKagan.
Should
I get a name?
You can't lay it up. You're too much of. Look,
Like
you're
what?
creating content now. You've got 2 books now. You're a best-selling author. You're a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer. You gotta with an avatar. Can we name your fantasy team?
Okay.
Here on the Rich Eisen show.
Yes.
Fully.
Farm it out to us.
Fully. Do it.
Farm it out
And
to
give
us.
me one of the things and tell me how to put it on the. Do I have a picture?
Yeah, a picture.
Mine is just blank. It's just
Yeah.
a football.
It's just
helmet.
like-
We'll set it up. You'll
yeah.
give us the codes,
Done.
the password. and
Done.
we'll-
Okay, I got
we'll
it
do
done. Done.
The Rich Eisen Show
Our
is...
listeners do it. We'll have them submit answers.
Start submitting names.
Great.
Yes.
Hashtag Duff's Fantasy Team.
Yes, we'll have our listeners and viewers of this program name your fantasy team.
Sports, and it's going to be the team, that guy's lame.
No.
I wrote
Not
for-
about-
Can we make fun of
another-
Axel?
We'll be the proper gatekeepers for your
Okay.
fantasy team.
This is great.
Duff McKagan, thank you for being here in
Cool.
studio.
Thanks,
You bet.
Rich.
Duff McKagan right here.
guys.
Go buy his book, How to Be a Man and Other Illusions. Yeah. And he's going to go actually do sober karaoke with Brady and Belichick right now and choose the 50% hip hop, right?
The Camry. I think the Camry.
The Camry's the winner? Garoppolo's Camry. Biggest punishment.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.